these as part of the ingredients to certain health foods that they're selling in GNC stores, general nutrition stores that sell all this shit as health in a bottle. The meat industry sells you glands, bone meal, gelatin, insulin, protein powder, kidneys, urine and urea, powdered testicles. Whew. Bran, liver extract, and pancreas. People who consume glands, those who have glands, end up catching cancers. And they end up with endocrine or sexual disorders. They also have problems with allergies. Now, big money, big time money is made selling the body parts after the rendering. Let me just give you an example. Adrenals go for $14,500 a pound. Bile goes for $2,300 a pound. Bone meal is $900 a pound. Eyeball, $7,300 a pound. Heart, $2,300 a pound. Hypothalamuses, $11,000 a pound. Livers are $900,000 a pound, or $900 a pound. Lymph is $1,800 a pound. Parathyroid is $11,000 a pound. Pituitaries are $18,000 a pound. Placentas are $4,500 a pound. Prostates are $2,700 a pound. Testicles, are $3,200 a pound. Uteruses, $3,000 a pound. Now what the fuck they want with all of that? The research community buys it from the meat industry. The pharmaceuticals now make a deal with the commercial part of the holistic health community and sell the byproduct of this shit as ingredients to your food. Check. I hope am I boring any of you all out here? Okay, good. I want y'all to be with me. Molasses. Molasses is a junk food that is sold as a medicinal and a food enhancer. It is degraded and mutated like honey. It is contaminated with pesticides from the sugar that it was processed from. It contains 30 to 50% sugar. Chemists and drug manufacturers, they make industrial alcohol from it. You ready? It has MSG derivatives like citric acid, which is used in sodas. It is fed to livestock and called black strap. Now, y'all niggas ain't got beaten up enough that y'all go out and buy something called black strap molasses that they feed to cattle. Check. Make you want to holler, throw up both your hands. Yeah. Now we ain't even begun this shit. You'll just hang in there for a minute. Now I'm gonna give you a minute before I get to some dirt. Y'all gonna really hate me on. Because 9 times out of 10, y'all gonna go out there y'all get this now, because an educated consumer is a live one. Let me get that right for you. Let me get it. I can scoot it up a little bit closer. Can y'all see this? Now y'all go ahead and put that down. So I ain't got to call it off for y'all. But MSG is in every damn thing. And I mean every damn thing. And I'm going to find where I think I put the list. But in my video in the Gathering of the Masters in Atlanta, y'all asked Brother Prentice for that one. In there I break down all the foods that have MSG and break it down so that you all go shopping, you all look for all the different ingredients that have MSG capabilities. And there's about 40 of them. And they're in all your health foods. So the name of that tape is The Gathering of the Masters. It's the nanogenetics of mind control. It's how they're going to mind control you at the genetic level by twisting your reality and making you become your own mind control slave. Y'all got that? These are the names that you're going to see. Autolyzed plant protein, glutamic acid, autolyzed yeast, gelatin, monosodium glutamate, yeast food or nutrients. See, yeast food or nutrients, sodium caseinate, hydrolyzed vegetable protein, monopotassium glutamate. These are all the same as MSG. It gives you the same reaction. It makes you crazy. It shuts down a lot of your critical thinking, and you can't even feel anymore. Cops take a whole lot of MSG before they go out to do any kind of patrolling on your street. Does that give you a clue? Finally, because they're always in that damn donut shop. What you think them damn donuts made from? Pure sugar and MSG. And here's finally, now y'all gonna really be bad at me because y'all have become so addicted. Soy. All right, let me get ready for this. Soy. Now this food product, in all of its forms, is the biggest health hype of the new millennium. Only a few decades ago, the soybean was considered unfit to eat, even in Asia. Even the damn Chinese didn't want the shit. But the holistic health community don't know shit. Let's just introduce it to them. Now, history on soy. During the Chow dynasty, which is of 246 BC, the soybean was designated as one of the 5 sacred grains along with wheat, barley, millet, and rice. In the pictures drawn about these grains, the parts indicated the soybean shows that it was not first used as a food, where the pictographs for the other 4 grams showed their seed, their stem structures, and the buds. The pictographs of the soybean only showed the root structure as the part that they used. Therefore, soybean was used only in crop rotation as a way to return nitrogen to the soil. That was it. The soybean did not serve as a food until the introduction of the fermenting process. The first soy foods were fermented products like tempeh, natto, miso, and soy sauce. Now, if you are carrying a seed, my sister, you need to pay attention to this. About the 2nd century, Chinese scientists discovered that puree of cooked soybeans could be precipitated using calcium sulfate and magnesium sulfate, which are respectively plaster of Paris and Epsom salt. All right. I'm going to say it again. Chinese scientists discovered that they could create a puree of cooked soybeans based upon calcium sulfate and magnesium sulfate. Calcium sulfate is plaster of Paris, the shit they hang walls with, the shit they make with these facings with, and Epsom salt, the shit that runs right through you when you take it in. Now, they took these two components together, and from the soybean mulch, they created a curd called tofu. Now, here we go. The Chinese did not eat unfermented soybeans like they did other legumes because the soybean contained a large quantity of natural toxins, or what are known today as anti-nutrients. Anti-nutrients, the same shit that they were trying to promote to you in the form of a substance called olestra, which was a fat that was not a fat. Now who's in their right mind going to think of some shit like that? A fat that was not a fat. So that you would eat a fat that was not a fat. And then what? Soybeans contain potent enzyme inhibitors. Listen carefully, beloved. Potent enzyme inhibitors that block the action of what is known as trypsin and other enzymes needed for protein digestion. These enzyme inhibitors are large, tightly folded proteins that are not completely deactivated through cooking. They produce serious gastric distresses, reduce protein digestion, and cause a chronic deficiency in what they call the amino acid uptake. In certain test animals, diets high in trypsin inhibitors cause enlargement of and pathological conditions in the pancreas, and they also cause cancer. Soybeans also contain hemagglutinin that causes red blood cells to clump together. Trypsin inhibitors together with hemagglutinin become growth inhibitors. Growth inhibitors. So, growth-depressing compounds in soy are deactivated during a process of fermentation. So once the Chinese perfected how to ferment the soybean, they began to incorporate soy foods into their diet. Now, in precipitated products, or what are fermented products, enzyme inhibitors concentrate in the soaking liquid rather than in the curd. So what they do is, when they use the two sulfates, it extracts the inhibitors in the curd, it goes into the water, but it don't get all of it. Because they scoop the shit out and put it right back in to wherever it is they're going to process it next. Thus, in tofu and in bean curd, growth depressants are reduced in quality and in quantity, but not completely eliminated. Soy also contains what are known as goitrogens, substances that depress your thyroid function. It gets better. Soybeans are also high in phytic acid, which is present in the bran or the hull husk of all seeds. This blocks the body's uptake of essential minerals like calcium, magnesium, copper, iron, and most essentially zinc in your intestinal tract. Soy contains the highest phytic acid levels than any other grain or legume studied. Vegetarians who eat tofu and bean curd as a meat substitute risk severe mineral depression. Zinc is vital to cellular intelligence and is your overall conduit for electrical intelligence. Zinc is also necessary for painless childbirth. It is the lack of zinc in the women that causes the heavy pain during childbirth. It is vital for optimal development, and listen carefully, of your brain and your nervous system. Zinc is necessary for that. It plays a role in protein synthesis and collagen formation for the bones. Zinc is necessary for blood sugar control and vital for pain and reproductive health. Zinc deficiency causes that spacey feeling that most vegans and vegetarians mistake for getting high on life and getting enlightened and shit. Motherfuckers eating too much damn tofu. When you got zinc deficiency, electrical transduction and electrical transport is deficient. And all your shit ain't firing on time. So you out there like, oh, I was in another place, bro. Spirit was talking to me. Bullshit, Spirit was talking to you. You're out of your mind. You gotta be in your right mind to know what spirit is. You can't be all, bro. You can't be out there. Shit, what do you think? You think somebody in their right mind now, every now and then you used to see the brother who's on heroin. They're only in this portion of their right mind. The rest of it is gone. Now, soy protein isolate. That's something else you need to put up there. Soy protein isolate is also in most of so-called health foods. It is the key ingredient that gives soy burgers its meat taste. And soy milk its milky taste. Oh, listen carefully. The soy protein isolate that they put back into your food after they process it the way I told you is what gives the soy burgers its meaty taste. While it's giving you, see what happens is your taste buds are working on your brain to recognize taste. Now, if as you are tasting what you think is meat, analog meat is giving you a taste because they got this soy protein isolate, that means whatever it is your body is converting to a memory of tasting like meat is sucking out your zinc at the same time it's giving you the feeling that you eat meat. I know all these brothers and sisters out there in the health healing community, they're just going to hate Brother Valentine. But I got to give it the way it is. Then y'all do what y'all want to do. But I got to tell it. Check. Now, acid washing the the soy. They acid wash the soy, right? After mixing it with the alkaline solution to remove the fiber. And when they do this acid wash, it's in aluminum tanks. Now, you all know about aluminum already. Aluminum tanks leach high levels of aluminum into the final product. The resulting curds are spray dried to produce a high protein powder. The final insult to vegetarians is that their original soybean is a high temperature, high extrusion or molding process or procedure. Now, nitrites, proven to be cancer causes, are ingrained into the spraying process, and a toxin called lysinolinolene is formed during the alkaline processing. Artificial flavorings are added to, like MSG is put to the flavoring, are added to soy protein isolate because anything you see soy protein isolate has to have the MSG to give you the meat taste. And the reason why they add the MSG and the soy isolate is because if you eat soy at its essential state, it has a beany taste. It's like eating beans rather than meat. So they put it in there to mask the beany taste. And they put it in there to the soy milk to mask the beany taste that the milk would have. Now, in feeding experiments, and I'm just going to read this down for you all, especially as I look at these babies here. I'm speaking directly to you, mothers, because what's coming up next is going to blow your mind. In feeding experiments, the use of soy protein isolate created an increased requirement for vitamins E, K, D, and B12, as well as a deficiency symptoms of calcium, magnesium, manganese, molybdenum, copper, iron, and zinc. Now, manganese. Now, my beloved sister, it is the manganese that gives you the baseline energy to create what is known as prolactin, which is the mother hormone. The prolactin gives you the patience that a mother has for her child. The prolactin is the mother hormone. What happens is that when you have snatched the zinc, when you have taken out the magnesium, the manganese, sisters who have androgynous tendencies, who got the I want to be a man tendencies, the I want to have my career tendencies, I want to play boxing and sports tendencies, they have a deficiency in the manganese and the prolactin. They have an overload of testosterone quality toxicity, because if you look at the progesterone molecule, as I said, it looks exactly like a testosterone molecule, except it's twisted into another helix, and it's only that one twist of the helix of the progesterone molecule that makes the male different from you. All you have to do is do all the shit that you're doing now to hyperstimulate and make. Every time the body marshals fat to a particular area is to protect the area. Now, yet, with insane consistency, soy protein isolate and textured proteins are used extensively in school lunches and school lunch programs and summer programs. It is used extensively in commercial baked goods, cookies, bread, all of these, diet beverages, and fast food products. Soy protein isolate and textured proteins are heavily promoted in Africa, India, and South America. In other words, where melanated peoples populate and are targeted for depopulation through food giveaway programs. Soy processing factories are going up wholesale all over Africa. Why? Oh, you're going to know why. On tests conducted with school children, researchers noted that the children vomited occasionally, usually after finishing a soy-based soy protein isolate meal. 1/2 of the test group suffered from periods of diarrhea, upper respiratory infections, rashes, fevers, asthma and bronchitis symptoms. Soy consumption also linked to cancer. Soy consumption was also found to lessen your libido and was used by the Shaolin monks periodically for just that purpose. Soy protein isolate and soy products were used to take away your libido. Libido means you want to get it on. Thousands of women are consuming soy with the belief that it protects them against breast cancer. They had a rude awakening in 1996 when Swedish researchers found that women consuming soy protein isolate had an increase of epithelial hyperplasmia, a condition that sets into the body right before they begin to process and to see cancer situations. But here is the most diabolical study about soy that you've ever been told, one that could be read about. You could not read about in its effects because you would not know what soy is about. Soy degenerates the gender integrity in male children and formula-fed babies. Soy degenerates the gender integrity of male babies who are fed soy-based inframeal products. Where all these gay folks come from. In studies dating as far back as 1950, a substance called genistein in soy caused endocrine disruption in animals. 1950? They knew that the substance genistein created endocrine problems in the rats and monkeys, which meant the rats and monkeys either wouldn't fuck, couldn't fuck, and after they did fuck, the children were just completely crazy. They knew this. I don't know if that's sleeping in. Because right now, brothers and sisters, bless their heart, unknowingly are giving our sisters and little babies soy products. I'm giving them the soy substitute. I keep telling them, make your own nut milk out of the organic nuts. You can work, you gotta work harder. You are not taking care of your children because you have been told that the imperative is at the job. You give most of your life force to that J-O-B, and you serve that devil, and you come back and just give some fucking microwave shit to your children. In 1991, Japanese researchers reported that eating just as little as 30 grams or 2 tablespoons of soybeans per day for only 1 month resulted in significant increase of thyroid-stimulating hormones. Soy carries the genistein, but it also, they found out that it carries these ingredients which are endocrine disruptors. They call these substances isoflavones. And you'll see isoflavones on the side of some food. The other name for it is called diazen. Diazen. D-I-A-D-Z-E-N. That's the other disruptor to the endocrine system that's in soy. Now, diseases like diffuse goiter and hypothyroidism appeared in some of the human subjects, along with constipation, fatigue, and lethargy. Scientists went on TV and news media to boast of soy's benefits, telling people to take 25 grams of soy protein isolate to lower cholesterol, and that was the minimum amount. This much contains 50 to 70 milligrams of isoflavones. 100 milligrams was the max that was recommended by your doctor. In 1992, the Swiss Health Service estimated that 100 grams, listen carefully people, the Swiss Health Service estimated that 100 grams of soy protein gave the same amount of estrogen as the pill. I'm going to say that again. 100 grams of soy protein gave the same amount of estrogen as the pill. Now to the diabolical part. The isoflavones in infant formula. Daily exposure to infants based on their little tiny body weight expose them to isoflavones in the soy infant formula that is 6 to 10 times higher than the dose that has the hormonal effect on adults who consume soy products. 6 to 10 times higher based on their little body weight. Now check this. Circulating concentrations of isoflavones in infant-fed soy formula were 13,000 to 22,000 times higher than the plasma estradiol steroid concentrations in infants who drank mother's milk or even cow's milk. So the isoflavone effect effect that would happen to us, that would drive us crazy, is 13,000 times that when it gets into the system of an infant. 25% of bottle-fed children here in America take soy formula, and the statistics are rising. This is higher than any other country in the so-called Western world. Now check this. Infants fed exclusively on soy formula receive the equivalent estrogen intake of no less than 5 birth control pills a day. Yo! What is happening to our young brothers? Even with our sisters. Why is fibroid tumors that I've been witnessing rampant now in younger and ever younger girls? When I was dealing with it some 15, 20 years ago, sisters in their upper 30s and 40s had it. Now sisters as young in their early 20s got fibroid tumors. Shit, girl, you ain't lived that long to have a fibroid tumor. Breast cancers in girls at 24 years of age. Breast cancers in men now rising. Phagocyzing the planet. Now, listen carefully. Male infants go through what is known as a testosterone surge during the first few months of life, when testosterone levels may sometimes get as high as an adult male. During this time, the boy is being programmed to express masculine tendencies after puberty, not only in the development of his sexual organs and other physical traits, but also in fixing the patterns in the brain characteristics that are connotative and specific to male behavior. Like not wanting to sit home and let your woman go to work for you. Like not feeling that something's wrong because you got your woman out there working, and the one that you by nature, it's in my book, The Wounded Womb, your nature has been perverted, where you got to think that it's all right for her to sit home. Most of the brothers in the insane asylum, most of the brothers in jail, most of the brothers that don't want to take that shit are the ones that's the dropouts of this society. Because I'll be damned if I ain't going to be a man, if nothing else. They got you doing my work. And sisters don't understand that that's the plan. That's the Willie Lynch protocol of switching the work so that you now got the money and the troubles and your whole biological system is in chaos. When we were here to make sure that you had peace. That's what we were here for. Because we know what it is. In our instincts, we know that you are the tabernacle of life. And you can't be crazy out your fucking mind. You have to be quiet and sane to raise a sane child. If you are insane, then your child is insane. And I rest my case when you go out here today. Know for a fact that who you are is based upon what material was used to create you inside of that tabernacle that is your mother. And you worrying about the rent, you worrying about shit, that changes the biochemistry, which changes your hormonal integrity, which then creates a crazy-ass child. You didn't do all this heavy shit. You didn't have to do all of that. We were here for that. That's why we were built like this. To do the work. But we have been virtually turned into Mac Daddies and criminals because in even us trying to survive, they got jail cells ready for that. Turn us into criminals. don't understand what they're doing. You got to understand how this thing is working. The science of repression and oppression. The metaphysical science. It ain't just going out there marching and yelling and screaming and shit and telling them, kill the devil and all that shit. You got to understand the metaphysics of how they work in your ass. Because that part is orchestrated too. To get you out there yelling and screaming and Mr. Jesse talking shit, keep hope alive. Who the fuck is hope? Is hope some motherfucker on an intravenous someplace and shit? We got to keep giving blood, keep it alive? Because we keep giving blood. We obviously keep giving some fucking blood. They keep killing us in the street. We've got to be keeping hope alive, and hope got to be half dead and on our blood. In monkeys deficient of male hormones, these deficiencies impair the development of spatial perception, a trait that is naturally more highly developed in men. Our spatial development is necessary because as a provider and a protector, we have to be able to react to our environment much more quickly. They say, well, women do better with languaging. Of course. You develop a part of your brain that is necessary for you to be who you are. Well, women are good at languaging. Well, why? Because babies can't talk. They say women are so much more thing than men. It ain't no goddamn competition. It is how we were structurally made to function in our particular work. So women have a better understanding of communicative cues and different nuances and so forth for communication because that's what they are. A baby got to tell you that something's wrong, and you got to be able to pick that shit up. So you got to be able to be stronger in your communication. That ain't something that's better than men. And I don't want to be you. So don't try to make me feel all soft and shit and get to know my feminine side. Fuck all that. First time you get a nigga talking about his feminine side, you say, got to get rid of that nigga. I got to get me a man. And the first thing you want in a man is a man who knows how to make up his mind, know what he's doing, he's correct 90% of the time, and he don't take no shit. He don't take your shit either. I mean, for Christ's sake, the first time you take him out, and he takes you out, he open the door for you, you let him take you everywhere. Oh yeah, oh really? He's doing everything for you. And it's what you doing, roping him in as he thinks he's saying, you listen to him then? You checking him out to see whether or not he could take care of you or protect you, provide. And then all of a sudden what? Because he makes a mistake or two in his development to be for you, ain't no good, we go to the next one. That's that throwaway shit I've been noticing that's going on now. Sisters with the money, brothers are ready to settle, sisters are saying, I don't know. And that mentality when they go shopping, you know, no, we go to that one. No, we go to the next store. 5 hours to shop for a dress, which is fine. I don't mind, but I can't shop with you. I want a motherfucking pair of socks. I know where I'm going to get it. Socks, I'm out. But that's you. Shopping is a social event, which is beautiful. You try this on, this is cute, and this is what he called it. That's y'all. I relish in that. I love it. I just don't want to be in it. So when I'm over here communicating with myself, if I want to check out something, do something by myself, that's me. As a male, I like to be off sometimes by myself or just go ahead and knock heads with the brothers. Can't fault that. So we are different, but it is our differences that make us compatible, not equal. There's no such thing as equality in any created thing in existence. I am for you, and you are with me for me. That's it. They then took the fucking simplest equation and then built this whole dumb shit all over it, and now you don't know who the fuck you are. You know, apple or orange. Now, The soy protein isolate, when given to the monkeys, also created learning disabilities in that animal. It couldn't even find a damn nipple. It didn't even know where to go. What's happening in our schools now? It was reported that during gestation, human male children exposed to the toxic drug DES. I know, Mother, you go back to the time in 1950 and before when they were giving the women DES, which was another form of estrogen, right? Now, exposed to the toxic drug DES, or diethylstilbestrol, which was a synthetic estrogen, had the same effects on animals given soy phytoestrogen. Now, the soy protein isolate is what is known as a phytoestrogen, which causes estrogen sites in your body to be activated, which means that you have this estrogen activity that is not being triggered by your own pituitary. It's being triggered by the reaction of your brain to that particular substance that causes the pituitary to be overactive. Remember I told you at the beginning, when you take a drug, the part that the body chooses to process it out is the part that it's doing the most damaging to, and that's the part that you use it to quiet down. Well, that's what's happening to you when you take that soy protein isolate.